Okay, what I'm going to do is to show you how to make a slip choke collar dog lead. I wanted to get one looking on the internet and in stores to find one that I really liked. It was almost $35 or $40 for just a simple leash like this. And I just decided that I could probably make one for a lot cheaper than that. And they come out at about $5, $6, $7 a piece. Now, I have two types that I'm going to show you. This is my short type. I use this. You can see how I can just put that in my hand like this and carry it here, because I like to have my dog off leash a lot, just give him freedom. He's very well behaved, and so we can walk down the street with cars and people around, and he doesn't really have any problem with it. But there's times when, just for my peace of mind, or I feel that my dog might be getting anxious, or somebody walking by on the street seems to be anxious about my dog not being on a leash, then it's very easy, if you're carrying this beside you this way, just to slip it over his head, drop it down into place, and it'll pull right down, and you've got immediate control over your dog. It also helps, like I took him to a dog run yesterday, and just from the car to the gate, parking lot, strange place, lots of new dogs, first time ever in a dog run for him. I wanted a little bit of control, both getting to the gate and initially inside the park. So I took this. Another one that I have, a little bit longer one. I use this. I'm taking my dog, say, on a walk to the store down the street. I'm going to leave him outside, and I've got a little carabiner on here. I can just clip to a chain link fence. He's out of the way. I run inside, get what I want, come back outside. He's still just sitting there. It's not a good idea to leave your dog on choke collars unattended, but once again, I know my dog, and he's okay out there. I can also use this if I go through say we're on a walk, I'm out geocaching or something, and I want him on a little bit longer lead, maybe going through a park where they're supposed to be on leashes, and make everybody feel comfortable, but you'll still give him a little bit of freedom of motion. Then I've got this, and I could make it a little bit longer very easily. Now, what are the materials that you need to make one of these? Very simple. You need a lighter. I use a pair of needle nose pliers, a pair of scissors. This is used for the wrapping, closing it up, which turns out to be just rock solid. And I'm not sure what size this is. This is just some of the smallest accessory climbing type rope you can buy. I think this was about 50 cents a meter. I'm buying it here in Japan, so it was 45 yen for a meter. I got 5 meters to make 2 leashes. And then this is 6mm cord. I think I paid about 140 yen a meter for this. And I got this for about 180 yen per meter. All of this right here, I paid about 1,200 yen, so probably about $14, $15 to make 2 entire leads. Bad exchange rates. So what do? Oh, you have to have, of course, a needle and thread. This is, I've used monofilament nylon, but it kinks up a little bit. This is kind of a polyester, so it's not going to be prone to, if it gets wet, it's not going to be prone to rot and break, even though that wrapping will protect it from coming apart, most likely. There's my needle. There we go. And you can use rather big needles on this. I thought it was going to be difficult passing a needle through this rope, but actually it's extremely easy to push this material through, or push this through the material. You don't have to do any kind of excellent job here. I'm not a seamstress by any means. My wife has a sewing machine that perhaps she could actually sew this, but I just don't see the necessity in it. It's just if you're using a big needle like I am, you need a rather large knot to get started. And to get started, the first thing that I do, make sure this is melded and sealed together as well as you want. I usually do a little bit of overkill on this. Wet your fingers and want to make sure the core stays in there. And now you just fold it over. My goal is going to be to get something like this. And so something about like that. That gives me a good 2.5, 3 centimeters of binding area to hold it together with the thread. Although you're going to cover it up, I'll usually start from the inside right here. And then you just push this through. Now what I'm doing first is I'm going down the center of the rope, going through one side and out the other, pretty much in the center. And then what I'm going to do, after I've gone down the center, is I'm going to get a new piece of string and I'm going to go down one side of it. So kind of sewing the edges together. And I'll do that on both edges. And that will bind the rope together more than adequately securely. Another option that you have when you make these, which I've decided not to do, I've got one with a little steel ring here. I had to pull the inner cords out of this, and it just seemed like a good idea at the time, but it was wasted time and effort. And subsequently, all the ones I've done since then, I've just sewn this loop right in the end of the rope, and that's it. I used this long lead yesterday at the dog run when we were in the pool area. My dachshund is not super enthusiastic over water. And I don't know if any of you have any dachshunds, but at least mine seems to be halfway blind. He just walked into the pool area yesterday, walking down beside the pool, acting all cool, and just lost his footing and went right in the pool. But he doesn't seem to know his way around how to get out, so we will put this around him just to kind of guide him back to the exit area. Okay, I'm going to put this on pause right now, just so I don't spend too much time on this. Okay, I finished the stitching down the middle. It's not very neat. It doesn't have to be very neat because it's going to be covered up by your wrap. To end it, I just kind of pushed it through here, around and around a few times. No need to real tie it off because once again the wrap's going to cover it up and secure it. Now here's what I was saying about going down the edges. started in there. And let's see, maybe one started just right here. I don't know how well you can see this, but you can see that I'm trying to catch just the outer edge of this. So it's as if the center has been bound together now. And now what I'm going to do is just go back and forth down that outer edge till I get to the end. And you don't need to watch all that. Okay, I've gone down one side now, and I'm not exactly sure how well you can tell. This is the side that I've gone down. And if I kind of hold it like this, you can see maybe it's been pulled together slightly as compared to that side where they're still relatively open. And I think I may have enough thread here to complete my journey back down the opposite edge without rethreading my needle. I know this part isn't particularly interesting, so let me put it on pause again.